We are Anshuman Tech Private Limited company, 40 years old company. We are ISO 9001-2015 certified manufacturer, certified by German TUV Nord, and our certification since 25 years. And we are supplying technical training equipments across the globe. These are the countries we supplied, and in India also, across India, we have dealer network, and as well as directly also we are supplying. These are company profile. These are national, international awards. We have our R&D department has own R&D department, has DSR approved by Government of India, and we are World DAC member and award winning product. These are the index of our product range. Many electrical, electronics, instrumentation, mechanical divisions, and be supplied across the global presence, including London. And now we are introducing Xpo-Sps trainer. This is our Xpo-Sps trainer manual. Manual have student workbook and instructor guide. Students workbook and instructor guide is in a European style manuals. We have revision history of all feedbacks we have noted and corrected. Our manuals are European style with students workbook, instructor guide, and wiring diagrams and circuit diagrams. All information has brought out in full manuals, big manuals, so that any customer they can use with the help of manuals. Now we are starting with our Xpo-Sps trainer, Smart Power System trainer. Smart Power System trainer consisting of generation, transmission, synchronization, and double bus bar. So now we start with generation trainer. This is generation trainer. It has SCADA system, built-in SCADA systems, and motor, generation, motor, and generator. Motor has 10 HP motor with VFD drive, and generator has 3.5 kVA alternator. It generates 440 volts. And this is starting point of the trainer, 3-phase dual starter panel EMT1. It generates 440 volts from power supply. This is 3-phase multi-function power cum energy meter panel EMT34. It has measurement of voltages, current, power factor, kW, kWh, more than 15 to 20 parameters. Both 3-phase and single phase can measure, and with RS485 MODBUS, you can, these parameters you can measure in PC as well as SCADA. This is IGBT controlled VVF drive panel EMT33A VFD panel. This has VFD drive to drive the motor, 10 HP motor, and 10 HP drive. Same panel, multifunction cum energy meter panel. This needs many panels, this trainer, hence we are repeating. This is PT panel EMT54, 415 volt input and 110 volt AC output for distance relay and for panels. Same, this also multifunction cum energy panel 34. Same, all functions are same. For this panel is for the motor purpose, This panel is for generation purpose. These are CT panels, and input volt 440 volt and secondary output will come. And this is generation protection relay panel. In output of the VFD drive will come here, and output of the alternator, it will come here. So this is the input and output of the generation protection relay. Same multifunction meter, many functions, all same meter. We have used Rishabh multifunction meter. It has worked very well and their quality is good since we are using last 20 years. This is panel is output of the 440 volt. It can carry to synchronization setup or double bus bar. We use this extension panel, 440 volt extension panel, through this connector. This is for the generation, any generator needed excitation voltage. For excitation voltage, we use EMT 8 and EMT 9. EMT 9 output will come 0 to 180 volt DC, and input is 0 to 230 volt AC. We are using AC by dimmer panel, and output will come. We can control with smartly. You can control lower voltages. For that purpose, we have used EMT 23 dimmer panel. This is DC voltmeter ammeter panel for measurement of DC voltage, excitation current, to monitor while making experiments. This is also extra panel we have used for the 440 volt output for while synchronization and double bus bar, 3 bus, 4 bus flow study. This is VFD drive for 10 HP motor. To drive the 10 HP motor, we used Mitsubishi company VFD drive 10 HP motor. It has RS485 MODBUS connection. This has, and all parameters can monitor in SCADA and computer interface. This is, we have used GE make relay, generation protection relay, P343 model. It has differential protection, overcurrent protection, reverse power, earth fault, under voltage, over voltage, under frequency, and over frequency. All voltages, currents can measure in display. And faults also you can measure in display. And this setup will come with a table, aluminum profile tables. These tables are very long standing tables. It has no corrosion, unlike metal tables. And this is generation transformer for the grid, for the supply of synchronization and protection. This is synchronization setup to control the remote terminal unit, generation and synchronization. We used RTU, remote terminal unit. This has Mitsubishi PLC with more than 32 input, 32 output, 2 analog output, 2 analog input, with MODBUS communication and Ethernet communication with SCADA compatibility. This is relay contactor panels for used to control the motor and loads. This is SCADA software screen. This is HMI touch panel. You can touch it, generation, it can, voltage will come from generator, motor will on. and it has own SCADA software and all-in-one PC we have used. So it works as a multifunction, as a HMI and SCADA software and computer. We can use as a computer also. And all setups will come individual tables, aluminum profile tables, very long-standing tables. We are starting generation trainer. So the whole trainer has more than 35 experiments, sub-experiments, and main experiment 15. And now we are generation experiment with differential fault. First step, we have to make on EMT1 3-phase for any experiment. Now 3-phase has came to this panel. Now this has touch panel and PLC automatic control. So now we start SCADA software by generation SCADA experiment. SCADA is loading. Now this is smart power system trainer SCADA software. Now this is layout. This is generation and synchronization SCADA layout. This is generation setup and motor generator. Now we start many experiments: synchronization, V-curve, generation protection, performance chart, generation protection. Now we start generation protection. This is generation protection relay. Now we start with generator. Generator control. This is generator control. We can start generator by start and stop by stop button. So we can touch by start button. So green LED will come. VFD run. Now motor is rotating clockwise direction and generator voltages is coming here. Now this controlled by SCADA, by PLC and SCADA software, we are automatically controlling by touch panel only. Now we can apply the load. This is load. Loads also we can apply by touch panel. These loads are contactor is on, the applied load on generator, and we can create the fault, generation fault by LL fault. Now motor is VFD has stopped and fault is created. Alarm as LED has glown. Differential fault is coming, and you can check fault here on relay. Triple phase between B and C. Generation of trip. And you can see the history, generation history by fault history by clicking mouse here. You can see the parameters, voltage, current, phase angle, and all parameters. You can timestamp also, you can see in the SCADA software. So we are, without using our hand motor generator, by automatically by using computer, this trainer is operating. Now previously we have studied generation trainer. After generation, any power system lab, synchronization must learn. This is synchronization trainer with SCADA system. Generator, this is synchronization trainer, main aim to synchronization of two different generation setups. One power supply generation is here. Grid power supply, we have taken source. And the grid power supply, measurement panel, multifunction power meter panel. And this is extension box for the grid power supply for future use 3-bus flow, 4-bus flow study purpose. This is same measurement panel, multifunction power count energy meter panel. We have used all multifunction power meter energy meter panels, Rishabh multifunction meters we have used, that is MODBUS based meters we can use in computer interface as well as SCADA. This is PT panel and 415 volt and secondary 110 volt for the synchronization relay. This is generation power. We have taken generation power from generation trainer, which we have studied previously. Same generation has for 110 volt operated synchroscope required relay. For that we have used PT panel. This is synchroscope. This is dark lamp method purpose. We have used 3 bulbs. Synchronization normally used 3 methods. One is dark lamp method, two dark, 1 bright method, and the third method is 2 dark, 1 bright method. This is phase angle meter. We can measure the phase angle of the power supply 230 volt AC. We can measure the phase angle. This is synchronization relay purpose. Synchronization relay we have used automatic and manual synchronization relay. Those parameters needed we have bring back to this panel. And this is for automatic and manual switches for synchroscope. This synchronization relay can perform experiment automatic, manual synchronization, and directly from generation output and grid power supply, it automatically synchronization once it is setting has done. Now we are making using generation screen in SCADA software. We can make synchronization first experiment. Same, we have used common remote terminal unit for synchronization and generation. This is for generation trainer for synchronization of we have used as a one input parameter. The other parameter we have used for grid. Now we can make synchronization using touch or using mouse. You can make it. This is synchronization will come and generation control you can start. Now generator is on. Both generator is coming. Motor is running at 1500 RPM. Now close, and we can start second power supply, grid power supply, by making on. And now we can make isolator grid bus and generator setup, and we can make auto synchronization. So now it is both power supply has synchronization done by this showing display in synchronization done. So we can check that synchronization, both power supply has needed common frequency, that is 50 Hz. Here you can see 50 Hz here, and here grid power supply has 50 Hz frequency. Both are same frequency, that is the reason it has done synchronization. If frequency is different, we cannot make the synchronization. And you can see the voltages by pressing same voltage, 423 volts, same voltage coming. This is synchronization of two power supply, two powers from different places. Synchronization of automatic synchronization of two generations, from one is generator, other one is grid power supply. Two powers is synchronization, and it can be transferred to third utilization after synchronization. This synchronization setup will come with automatic synchronization relay and panels and long durability aluminum profile table and trolley. In trolley has loads, three-phase load, grid transformer and transmission line. Grid transformer and transmission lines used for the 3-bus flow, 4-bus flow study in double bus bar. And this synchronization setup, generation setup with remote terminal unit, SCADA. These three units together we can use as a generation automatic synchronization setup. Now, after generation synchronization, we are learning double bus bar trainer. This is double bus bar trainer consisting of SCADA software and panels, multifunction meter panels, infeeders, outfeeders, section couplers, bus couplers, and transmission lines, loads. Study the 3-bus flow and 4-bus flow study purpose. This is from generation trainer. This is from synchronization trainer. 2 flow has come, and third flow we can put the transmission line trainer. So we have 3-bus flow study. So for automatic purpose, same SCADA software, we have used 3-bus load flow study. Same to control the loads, to control the section couplers, make it on needed remote terminal unit, that is PLC, Mitsubishi PLC with SCADA software and relay panel and contactor panels. This is SCADA software. You can use study flow using 3-bus load flow study. Here you can 3-bus flow we can study with this automatic synchronization. This is the study flow, load selection. We can make the loads on, off by this, by clicking here. This is generation feeder and this is grid feeder. You can 3-bus flow, we can study in feeder, IR, in feeder 2R, that flow outer feeder, we can see the blue lines. And you can select the load outer feeder, you can select the loads also by using load selection. This way you can study the 3-bus load flow study by star load section. And this flow, this setup consisting of aluminum profile tables for long duration, and both has aluminum profile tables with transmission lines and with movable drawers, and small drawers also provided to keep the manuals, CDs and pen drives, softwares. Hence we can study this double bus bar trainer by 3-bus flow and 4-bus flow methods. Now we are studying power transmission line experiment. This is power transmission distribution trainer Xpo-Sps TLD. This is also, as previously we have studied with generation, transmission and double bus bar, same transmission distribution trainer also, it works with SCADA software. It consisting of 440 volt input power supply, multifunction meters, Rishabh multifunction meter with RS485 MODBUS communication for input side, output side, and CT panels and distance. This is distance protection relay. We have used GE make distance protection relay P442 model. These distance protection relay widely used all over world in transmission line networks, in various power distribution boards like Maharashtra MSAB, Andhra Pradesh APSCB, any power distribution boards, they used substations, these multifunction relays only. These relays are used by GE make. This is multi-international company manufactured from France. These are relays are very accurate measurement and tripping time also accurate. And we have used in this trainer differential relay, same GE make P643 model. This has communication protocols with MODBUS and SCADA software interfaceable. This is differential relay panel. The sockets we have, it's gone to relay, and main transmission line trainer needed transmission line panel. This is EMT38 transmission line panel TL1 EMT38. This has two transmission lines. One is 220 kilometers and 125 kilometers, 250 kilometers. Both 125 kilometers, 250 kilometers, we can perform the experiments using SCADA software where exactly tripping and in transmission line trainer. Same, the transmission line trainer needed loads R, L, C. Loads are needed to load the transmission line. And this is distribution transformer. Distribution transformers also needed in the double bus bar trainer and many experiments. Same, we have used same technique, remote terminal unit R2U with PLC control, Mitsubishi PLC with 32 input, 32 output, and analog input, analog output. And we have used SCADA software and relays and contactors to load the loads, to make the on the loads and transmission line. This is HMI cum PC, useful for multi-purpose as a computer, and HMI for PLC control and touch panel. We can use by touch panel also. This SCADA software loaded in this HMI, we can perform the experiments with this trainer. Total 7 experiments. No load test, Ferrand effect of transmission line trainer. No load test, calculation of regulation, efficiency, power flow in transmission line trainer. Load test, calculation of regulation, efficiency of power flow in short transmission line trainer. Symmetrical, unsymmetrical faults, distance protection, auto recloser function. When there is a transmission line trainer, to any problem is created with short duration, this relay trips immediately, and once again same position it came by auto recloser function. And distribution differential protection also we can perform. So now we can perform the experiments by using EMT1 on. So the trainer will on like this. You can make the experiment distance relay. You make first on grid supply and load, minimum load, and we can perform experiment zone 1 fault, 125 kilometers LG fault. This is fault is created, make relay reset, fault accept, and parameters you can see, view fault record, fault update. We can see the timestamp, date. Today date is 18/8/26. Time 16.29, 4:30 exactly, less than 1 minute. And here trip zone 1 fault. Here you can see trip zone 1, time, date, and relay trip time in milliseconds. Fault location, we have created fault in 125 kilometers. It is showing 116.73. Very accurately it is showing kilometers, so that lineman can check that near 125 kilometers they can fault rectify it. And start trip, neutral, and one phase, A phase. You can see the timestamp in our SCADA software. So this study of the relays we can use in electrical students by these relays. So useful when they go to jobs. During academic only they can see the actual relays in boards. You can see in the college purpose only. And here auto recloser function also there, and you can relay reset also. New experiment with, now previously we have seen zone 1 fault. Now we can perform zone 2 fault by 250 kilometers. Previously 150 kilometers. Now you can 250 kilometers you can create the fault. Distance, protection, trip SCAM, and it we can see the signal also, audio as well as indication, lamp. Here distance relay, you can click here, you can see the view fault records. Zone 2 fault at 244 kilometers. Previously 116 kilometers location. Now this is at 244 kilometers, and timestamp is 4:32, 16.32, and date is 18/8/26. And trip fault is zone 2. Trip is because one phase and with neutral. Fault zone is zone 2. Fault resistance also you can measure, 2.6 ohm. Voltages and currents you can check it. Once we create the fault, that is the reason current is A phase getting more current. So useful this type of relays in academic practical experimentation. And this whole trainer will come with transmission distribution trainer with 2 GE-make relays. One is distance relay and other one is differential protection relay, and their panels, and transmission line for distance, and generation for differential protection, generation transformer, and loads to create the faults, and with aluminum profile table and with trolley to keep the loads properly. And remote terminal unit will come with aluminum profile table, with computer, all-in-one PC using touch. It has touch panel. You can work as a HMI for PLC programming as well as SCADA programming. This whole study students can learn relays and their programming, SCADA, PLC programming. So students can practical experience will come and useful for the job market in automation companies as well as electrical companies. This manual we are provided, good manual of more than 300 pages, students workbook, instructor guide, useful for the training purpose. Now we are studying Xpo-Sps Smart Power System Trainer using one master SCADA software and master PC. This is HMI computer touch panel. We can touch SCADA software, Smart Power System, Xpo-Sps. These are list of experimentations. Total 15 experiments you can perform with sitting one place using touch or mouse. Synchronization, V-curve experiment, generator performance chart, generator protection, voltage variation and control, voltage regulation for constant cos phi, 3-bus load flow study, 4-bus system, no load test, Ferrant effect on transmission line, no load test, calculation of regulation, efficiency, power flow in transmission model of transmission line, load test, calculation of regulation, efficiency and power flow in short transmission line, symmetrical and unsymmetrical faults, distance protection, auto recloser function, distribution transformer and differential protection. Now we perform experiment generation protection. Here generation protection experiment. You can start by generator control, start, VFD run, so now generator is on, frequency you can check the frequency, speed, and you can load the load also. You can create the fault by LL fault. Here trip generation differential relay trip has come. Fault accept. View record, fault update, you can check it. Similarly, we can see distance relay fault also. This is distance relay. Make it grid supply on. Here now we are performing experiment for master PC distance protection relay. Using, you can load the minimum load and short transmission, LG fault, distance protection relay trip has come, and you can see fault record. Zone 2. Now we are showing trip zone 1, 101 kilometers, time 4:57 at date 18/8/26, fault resistance 8.2 ohms, 101.58 kilometers, trip millisecond 79 millisecond. So this trainer were useful to control SCADA using PLC, sitting one place, how to control real world in generation stations and distribution stations, control transmission lines and distribution lines. Same study you can perform in our trainer.